Hello, hello. How is everyone? Hope you're having a good day. Or if you're in shit spirits, I hope that I can help you be uplifted. I'm on here. I wanted to address an issue that, is very near and dear to me. Obviously, part of the reason why this channel was created in the first place. Not only for me to get out my feelings, but to kind of talk about the stigma or the eruption of occurrences. And of course I'm noticing this through research, but it needs to be brought to the forefront of what's going on in the medical industry, with all races and with the pressuring of women and just all types of things. And so it's just really unfortunate. My incident happened in September, on September 11th, actually. I reached out to several places that said they wouldn't be able to see me until November, December. The place that I ended up going to immediately, which was by immediately, I mean within 30 days of the happening, the incident. She made it abundantly clear that she is not a trauma or rape counselor or therapist, so that I might, want to continue to look for help, particularly with those more serious issues. So I definitely appreciated the honesty, but, what I didn't expect is just to be seen by someone who isn't very attentive. And so, the first several weeks, it was everything that I needed it to be. A comforting place, a safe place, a calm place. The first time I went, like, I had somebody with me. I had my mom on the phone. Like, I was literally afraid to show up for therapy. And so getting to the point where at least that kind of fear of opening up and kind of rehashing the incident, that fear, I could say, it's not as strong as it was before. I don't feel like it's a fear now. It's more of an uncomfortability, knowing that it's going to bring up those feelings, and then knowing how that's going to make me feel and how I'm going to have to deal with that for the rest of the day. Like, that's really the harder part, because bringing those feelings to the forefront is hard not to go back to reliving it. And reliving it means flashings, visions, being able to hear, and just all types of remembering, auditory and visual remembering of what happened. And it's real hard on a mind that's trying to recover. And so I really don't try to go into details unless I feel like it is a helpful situation. This is not something I just discuss with family or friends just to tell them. A lot of my family and friends still don't know what's going on. So, just to get back to the point. So the therapist, I was saying, initially it was everything I needed. I felt like we were really getting to a breaking point once she realized that the pressures that I'm going through at home is not helping my recovery. And that the other counselor that I'm going to see, is putting sexual pressures on me. And so being a victim of sexual abuse and sexual assault, and now that was by men, and then now this situation by a woman, it just has completely changed my perspective. Because it's like, you can't trust men, you can't trust women, you can't trust humanity, you can't trust nobody. And so that's a struggle within itself to kind of deal with. And so going through that pressure, and then the pressure inside of my relationship, and a man is a man. And so that was just really hard to have a woman support the pressure that I'm already feeling in my heart, and to have my original counselor basically point out, like, that's not good. That's actually can make you go backwards from recovery. It was her idea that my spouse come in and that she explained to him, the type of support that's necessary in my situation. Well, something happened. We couldn't see her. We just saw her 2 or 3 days ago. And it's like basically we starting over from scratch. Like, she doesn't remember what we discussed. She has no clue what's going on. Like, what is our purpose for being there? Like, and I was just completely confused because I'm like, I thought this was about, having a better understanding of what it's like to support somebody who's been abused. And, come to find out, like, that's really not the case. Like, that's not what you're sharing me today. That's not even what we discussing. That's not even anything that came up in the topic, except when I brought it up. And it was just like, she cut me off like, well, whoever y'all going to see obviously ain't helping, so I could do a better job. And I'm just like, I'm really stressed out about it because I'm like, again, I came here thinking that I was going to get help and support with building a support system for the main person in my life who is supporting me and helping them have a level of understanding. But that did not at all happen. And so it's just really hard to go through this situation. And then, now I finally do have a rape counselor, and it's just really like, it's really hard, like going to all these different doctors, getting all different types of advice, and feeling like my life is just spread out all over the place. Like, one doctor want to talk about this, one doctor want to talk about this, one doctor want to talk about that. Like, and I don't feel like I'm getting what I need. Like, I don't understand why I need to go to multiple people in the first place. Like, I understand how I got into this situation. And so the idea was to, break off and just only have to deal with one person. But I mean, there's situations where I went and did intakes. I did 2 intakes, a psychology and a psychiatry one, from my healthcare plan. And guess what? I still have yet to receive a call back. And it's just absolutely disgusting. I mean, I made a call for my adolescent, and guess what? They talking about they booked all the way to March. At the end of the day, like, this is just, it's just really psychotic that nobody is available to help. Like, there is no help. There is no help, because when there is help, and it's all booked up for months and months and months and months, and you're in this traumatic stage and you're going through the things you're going through, I can see you in 3 months from now. That's not a solution. So there is no help. And so I discussed this. I know somebody who's starting a hospital, and I really want to develop a relationship with them in regard to, how can we make sure that adolescents in our community have all the mental health they need. I mean, at the end of the day, you're not supposed to go seek counseling when things get bad. You're supposed to seek counseling, period, because everybody needs help. Everybody needs help. That's why they have the school counselor, whether it's about your grades, whether it's about what college you're going to, whether it's about puberty. Like, everybody needs a confidant and a safe place to go to discuss their issues. And if you feel like the person that you're talking to is ignoring you and they're getting a check for it, it just like, where's my worth? Where is my worth? And so it's really stressful and it's really hard. And so I want you guys to understand, my Give, Send, Go is not just about putting money in my pockets. Like, I'm really trying to figure out how I can make a difference in the community. And that's something that just cannot be done without money. And so I'm just trying to figure out, like, who can I shake hands with? Like, who can I meet up with? Like, how much money do you need me to put up? What do I have to do to make sure there's a wing in that hospital that's dedicated to adolescent mental health? So anyway, that's just been on my mind. I love you guys. Don't let nobody ever tell you that you're not beautiful. Man, make a journal. That has been my advice this week. Keep a journal of your feelings and your emotions. If there are particular feelings that you are not able to express in your current lifestyle, or you feel like you can't express them safely, then, do what you need to do. Okay, write about it. Write it down. I love you. Man, I hope we all have a great week.